The ANC in the Greater Johannesburg region of Gauteng will today hold its 15th conference to elect new leadership. The regional conference was postponed twice this year due to internal party issues, which include the verification of membership and delays in the sitting of branch meetings. So more than 300 delegates are expected to attend this conference. The SABC Zoleka Qodashe is live for us there. Zoleka, a very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. So the conference postponed several times, including yesterday. Is it likely to proceed this morning?
Well, good morning, Crisalda. As you correctly mentioned, the 15th elective conference of the ANC Greater Johannesburg region is taking place at the Inland Lodge just outside Midrand this morning. Now, we are expecting the election of the regional chairperson and the regional secretary generals to take place. And so this is what we're expecting to unfold this morning. As you correctly mentioned, there are some delays that took place, and that is due to some reruns that were supposed to be held by some branches. But just to speak to us about these delays that took place, I'm joined by the outgoing secretary of the region, Mr. Dato Morero. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And how are you?
Well, thank you. Just speak to us about some of these delays, and we see that there are delegates that are trickling in. What are we likely to see? Are you expecting any challenges?
No, really, we're not expecting any challenges. Delegates have now arrived. As you know, that the conference facility could not accommodate the entire delegation, so others were all over the resorts around the area. Now they are being transported in, and we are also giving others their own packages who did not receive last night. So we are now ready to start. We're targeted to start at 9, but we realize we can only start at 10. So all disputes and appeals were cleared in our meeting with the National Appeals Committee yesterday, Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So as we speak, the National Appeals Committee took only a decision on one branch, Ward 98, that they will not qualify to be at conference. They have to rerun their meeting. So that was the only decision that was taken. So all branches are here. We expected 120 branches. So we do have 120 in the sense that Ward 98 delegates will now be given observer status. So we are all here. The verification report has been signed. Conference is ready to start. Today we expected to be addressed by the provincial chairperson of the ANC and Premier of Gauteng, Comrade David Makura. And after David Makura, then all other reports of the region will now be delivered by the convener of the region, Comrade Dunisim Krina, and myself, the regional secretary, will also be delivering organizational report and the finance report.
And you speak about some reruns that were supposed to have and some disputes that were had, and you say that they've been resolved, but there is one branch, I think you mentioned, that will not be able to participate today. Are you fearful of any consequences or challenges to the proceeding of the conference today despite that?
No, there will be no challenges. We've already met with the delegates of the branch, explained. We've also shared the reports with them, so comrades do understand. However, they will rerun next week, Saturday or Sunday, or next weekend, in preparation for the provincial conference. So the comrades understood and accepted that indeed there was a problem with the outcomes of their branch general meeting.
We know that part of the delays of the conference was also the death of former Johannesburg Mayor Mpho Mwerane. We know that he is the third member of the region to have died. Will that affect the conference in any way?
The financial report, which was supposed to be delivered by Comrade Mpho, we must say that Comrade Mpho, as the regional treasurer, had already prepared the financial report, and the date on the report is the 13th of May. So that tells you that he was way in preparation, because the conference should have said on the 13th of May. We do say he must rest in peace. His death, of course, has caught and shocked a number of comrades, as it wasn't expected. It happened a few weeks before we go to our conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Criselda, that was Dada Murero, who is the regional secretary, just speaking to us about some of the events that are expected to unfold, what we expect to happen today, and saying that despite the reruns of some branches, it is expected to take place without any interruptions.
Zoleka, the contenders, of course, between Dada Murero and Eunice Mgcina for chairpersonship. Talk to us about these two contenders.
Yes, well, as you correctly mentioned, Dada Murero is the outgoing regional secretary. He is expected to contest Eunice Mgcina, who is the deputy chairperson of the region, and they are expected to contest the regional chairpersonship position. We also have former regional spokesperson Sasabona Magwanyi, who is going to battle for the position of regional secretary against Justice Ngalo. And so that is what we are expecting to unfold today. Those are the two positions. We know, as I said earlier in my crossing with Dada Murero, that Mpomwerani would have also contested the position of chairpersonship. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and so it is between himself and Eunice Mgcina.
What role, Zoleka, does this region play in the run-up to the provincial conference and ultimately the national conference of the ANC in December?
Well, Criselda, we know that there are a number of slates within the ANC. We are expecting that the provincial conference is supposed to take place after regional conferences have held their conferences. And during the conference between Dada Murero or Eunice Mgcina, we are expecting that each of them will be aligned to one of the contenders each in the provincial conference. Now, we know that it is said that Dada Murero is the regional secretary, and he is allegedly aligned to Lebogang Maile, and Eunice Mgcina being aligned then to Pangazali Sufi, who both are contesting for the provincial chairpersonship position. But we also know that Johannesburg is, of course, the commercial hub, and so there are a number of decisions that are made here, and we know that during the local government elections, the three metros were taken and have not been governed by the ANC, instead coalition governments. And so we're expecting that in the election of these leaders and the election thereof of provincial leaders, that they will influence the direction of the party going forward.
Zoleka Qodashe, live for us just a few meters out of Midrand there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. The ANC in Greater Johannesburg region holding its conference this morning. Zoleka has got that covered for us throughout the day.